Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers. It's your brother Elahu Ramadan making that 911 call, that emergency call to the black man and the black woman and the black child in the North American wilderness, brothers and sisters. That emergency, that 911 that I'm calling you about, brothers and sisters, is to give you that 411. That 411, brothers and sisters, is that all black people in the North American wilderness will be it announced on all platforms that we are emergency alert, emergency threat to the United States of America, brothers and sisters. We are an emergency threat to the United States of America. And you may ask, Elahu Ramadan, what makes you say that? Why we are not hearing that? Why are the preachers that we go to church every Sunday and any other day we go to church, why are they not telling us this? And those in the Nation of Islam, the NOI, as it was called under Elijah Muhammad, why are the Nation of Islam not telling us this? They have a final call newspaper, even if we are other than under the Nation of Islam, they have a final call newspaper that they push. Why is it not in the final call newspaper? Brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers, the reason that we are going to be a so-called threat to the United States of America when for the 400 years all we've been doing is submitting, brothers and sisters, as we were instructed to do under the Abraham covenant. No of a surety. When the God made a contract with Abraham, stated no of a surety. Your seed will go into a land that's not theirs, served and afflicted. They was not supposed to touch, but that's what they did. Served and afflicted for 400 years. After that, the God say he himself will come personally to let us know what time in the 400 years we were in and when we will be able to get the reward, the promised land that we will transfer into heaven. And least, but not all, revenge. Revenge, brothers and sisters. Revenge for what? For the cruel and harsh treatment, the affliction, what is labeled under Holocaust. We will be able to revenge our ancestors, brothers and sisters, and take out on them what they have done to our ancestors. And those who are the ancestors of the Chaldeans will state or advocate that, hey, we didn't do that to y'all. Y'all still upholding the system. And just like our ancestors was murdered and killed and tortured and made to build this system of capitalism for free. For free, brothers and sisters. That revenge will be, it's under the word consequences. That's the law of the universe, brothers and sisters. As you have done, so shall be done to you. So that is the law. And we will be just like we submitted for 400 years. We obeyed that law. We obeyed your law. We've been living in under your rule, under your religion for 400 years. We submitted. We obeyed. Now that 400 years, brothers and sisters, is over. 1619 to 2019, 400 years. And the first year after the 400 years, as stated in the Bible, it would come up with a plague. And that plague would have a GPS on it, brothers and sisters. It would go straight to those who have did that atrocity to us, straight to the descendants. And that's what happened. All white nations were being destroyed. So they knew what time it was. But we as black folks, we did not know, brothers and sisters, because the knowledge has been kept from us. And they give us the modern day Nat Turners that go preach the so-called gospel. Be obedient to your master. Look for your pie in the sky. If they take your shirt, give them your pants. Love them, forgive them, and then you'll get yours in heaven. But we know where the heaven is according to the Christians. They say it's up in the sky. But no, brothers and sisters, when your loved ones die, you go straight to the mortuary. Sit down and y'all discuss a price of what a coffin costs. Y'all discuss a price of what a plot, a hole in the ground costs at the cemetery. And then you set up arrangement. You put your loved one in the box. You have a service. And then straight in the mansion that the God have many rooms. That's where you go in, brother. A 6-foot hole. Because we know that the God of this world that's ruling this world right now is the devil in the North American wilderness. The devil is the ruler, and the world is ruled by the devil and plagued by demons. Demons are those that was produced by the devil, by the 400 years of rape of the black woman. The man has the seed, the woman has the egg. The egg receives the seed, and that is what the egg produced, the seed of that man. And we know that the European, Chaldean, white boy, slave master is the devil. That's his nature. That's what he does. His revelation was given to him in the book of Genesis was to commit mischief. Look up the word, brothers and sisters. Commit mischief and shed blood. So the European history is been of that, brothers and sisters. He didn't do like he told you to do. Whatever you want, pray to a dead man, Jesus of 2,000 years. Pray. And hopefully your prayer will be answered. When he wanted anything, he did not pray for it, brothers and sisters. He loaded up his weapons. He loaded up his weapons, brothers and sisters. And he did recon over whatever nation or whatever he wanted to take. He did recon. He checked the area. He checked the area. He checked any way that they can escape, whatever the case. And then he went to war. He went to war with whatever he wanted, whatever nation, whatever land, He did not pray as we are instructed under Christianity. He did not pray, brothers and sisters. But anyway, brothers and sisters, we've been under a covenant for 400 years called the Abraham covenant. The God said, know of a surety, your seed will go into a land that's not yours, served and afflicted for 400 years. But in that same day, the God said that our reward will be a promised land between the river Egypt and the great river Euphrates. Look that up, brothers and sisters, and that will put you right there in Arabia. Arabia. They call it Saudi Arabia now, but that's where the dragon is mentioned in Revelation 12:7, when it says a war broke out in heaven, and Michael and his angels battled with the dragon and his angels, but they did not prevail. The dragon and his angels did not prevail. That war, brothers and sisters, started with the abomination of desolation. Abomination of desolation. And when we hear the word a war broke out in heaven, those who've been under the European rule in the Abraham covenant, we look up because we've been taught that heaven's up in the sky. No, brothers and sisters. You look at where the abomination and desolation is taking place. It's right there in Palestine. And it's taking place by those who say they are Jews but are not, but are from the synagogue of Satan. They claim they are Jews but are not, but are from the synagogue of Satan. False Israel. False Israel is Satan, brothers and sisters. And who put Satan in that land of the Palestinians in 1948 to counteract what Master Fard Muhammad said, that we are the true seed of Abraham. We are the ones who would benefit from the Abraham covenant. We are the ones to receive that promised land. We are the ones that would transfer that promised land into a heaven, because that heaven comes out of the thinking. And since the black woman will be creating from her thought, from her inner beauty, that heaven, brothers and sisters, and the black man will be enforcing it. We will be enforcing to bring into existence the heaven coming from the most beautifulest woman on the planet, the black woman. She will get her place back on the highest throne in the heaven, brothers and sisters, in that land between the river Egypt and the great river Euphrates. Arabia, that's our land. And as we have been taught by Master Fard Muhammad through his messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when we left there 50,000 years ago, we covered it up with sand to protect the natural minerals in that dirt, in that soil. So when we get back, we'll push that sand off like we put it on. The reverse on how we put it on, we'll be taking it off. But anyway, brothers and sisters, the abomination of desolation is taking place as we speak. And that abomination of desolation, the war in heaven, broke out October the 7th, 2023. 2023, when Hamas, the representatives of the Palestinians, that they had a vote and they voted them in, brothers and sisters. So they're the news media, false Israel, all the news media in the North American wilderness call them other than what they truly are. They claim that they are a democracy. This nation is a democracy. Well, Palestinians had a vote. They voted Hamas in to be their representing government body. And for 76 years, well, Palestine did the Hamas didn't get in into the 80s. Um, don't quote me on it, but I think it's 86 to 87 that Hamas was put in as the representatives, the governing body of Palestine. So by them negotiating and talking to those who has imprisonated them, the false Jews, got them in the biggest concentration camp there is in Palestine. They leave their city, they got to get a tag. They got to get a pass to leave out of their city to go work. And then they got to be back in their city by a certain time. That's a prison camp, brothers and sisters, and the whole world knows it. That's why the whole world eyes at their October the 7th, at their Hamas couldn't get what they needed for their people. They did the only thing they can do. Since no negotiations was working, they went to war. They went to war, brothers and sisters. They went to war. And the false Jews responded. The abomination is the uprise of Hamas going to war against their invaders. That's what false Israel is. They are invaders and the occupiers of a land that's not theirs, that they were put in 1948 to counteract that which Master Fard Muhammad came, set up the Nation of Islam, and then put Elijah Muhammad as his messenger at the head of the Nation of Islam. Put him up as the messenger. But he was told that we are the true children of the Abraham covenant, and that we had the Abraham covenant 400 years, and that when Master Fard Muhammad came in 1930 and set up a nation within a nation, we had 93 years left. So the sign, brothers and sisters, of our 400 years being over was that when you see, as it states in Matthew's 24:15, the abomination of desolation. When you see it, brothers and sisters, know that the time of our rise is here. The time of our rise is here, brothers and sisters. The time of our rise is here. And what's taking place with the Palestinians is coming to a city near us, brothers and sisters. That's what that whole emergency alert is about. Because for the last 2,000 odd years, the so-called false Jews, those who call themselves Jews but are not, is from the synagogue of Satan, false Israel. For 2,000 years, the so-called Christians and the so-called Jews have been fighting, brothers and sisters, fighting each other for our identity. for to be the seed of Abraham, to get the blessings from the God. But they are not, brothers and sisters. And the proof is what's taking place in Palestine. They say, Israel, we are the true seed of the gods, the chosen. But the action that they have taken, desolation, abomination and they are desolating the Palestinians. Abomination is the uprising of the Palestinians, and the desolation is the result of the Israel, the false Jews, desolating them, man, woman, and children. Their whole cities, all of their secret mosques, all of their historic libraries, all of their hospitals, all of their sanctuaries, everywhere they live, they have been desolated, destroyed. Abomination and desolation. We got to look those words up so we can understand the meaning, so we can recognize what we're seeing, so we can understand what time it is. And it says, when you see it, Jerusalem surrounded by its enemies, know that it's time to flee, brothers and sisters. Flee, because that national emergency alert that all black people, man, woman, and children, is a threat to the United States of America, because now the whole world who is watching that is going to know who's the chosen. Who's the chosen people? Who's the original people of this planet? It's the black man and the black woman and the black child, brothers and sisters. So we have to flee to the mountains. To the mountains, brothers and sisters. So that is telling us that all black people will be gathered together in one place. And then in that one place, there'll be 3 types of black people. Although we all look black, there'll be 3 types of black people, brothers and sisters. The ones that are enemy, that was made by the devil, by the rape of the black woman for 400 years, will be the demons. They look like us, talk like us, walk like us, but they're not us. Once a man shoot his seed and the woman and the egg receive that seed, it produced what the seed, where the seed got shot from. And we know that the European is a devil. So once he go into the black woman, he creates a demon. The United States of America is ruled by the devil and plagued by demons, brothers and sisters. The second phase, the second group of blacks, they are the ones who ran from war-torn countries and flee to America. The Haitians, the Africans. These are people of black, their black skins. And the threat to America ain't saying, oh, if they from this place or that place, or if they demons. No, it's saying all blacks, brothers and sisters. So they ain't going to be checking your identity. They ain't going to be asking for your visa. They ain't going to be looking for no damn passport. If you're black, you're dead. If you don't flee, if you don't take heed to the message through the lectures from the NGO warriors who are giving you the warning, who are warning you of what's ready to take place. And we got the messages from the messenger of the covenant. What covenant? The Abraham covenant that we've been under for the last 400 years, brothers and sisters. In the book of Malachi 3, it says, behold, I send my messenger, and he will prepare the way before me. Master Fard Muhammad came in 1930 and set up the Nation of Islam, and then put Elijah Muhammad in charge of it, making him the messenger of Allah. So Elijah Muhammad is not preparing away from Master Fard Muhammad. If you read down in Malachi 3, you'll find out who Elijah Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, was preparing a way for, brothers and sisters. The other piece of the information that Master Fard Muhammad left his messenger, Elijah Muhammad, that was preparing our minds, because we have been indoctrinated in our minds, a program under Christianity, brothers and sisters, a program under Christianity, brothers and sisters, and we obeyed that program for 400 years. But Elijah was preparing a way. If you read farther down, and the Lord who you seek will suddenly come to his temple, Elijah's temple, that Master Fard Muhammad set up and put him in charge of. Even the messenger of the covenant, who you will delight in. He will be coming as a refiner with filler soap. To do what, Elihu Ramadan? Well, Elijah taught for 42 years. But the one who sitting in his seat now has been teaching the total opposite. The total opposite of what the messenger of Allah was instructed to teach, brothers and sisters. He's teaching the total opposite. And he be under that label of a demon. And the third black definition of the third black, we already got the demons. We already got the Africans and the Haitians. The third is the saints, that the one who's sitting in the messenger of Allah's seat for the last 42 years went to war with the saints and turned them over. And now got us saying that, in the sense that calling Master Fard Muhammad a liar and calling his messenger of Master Fard Muhammad a liar, Elijah Muhammad, saying that we ain't going nowhere. Other words, we don't want the promised land. We don't want the reward of our submission after 400 years in the North American wilderness. He's saying that he's got his ministers, student ministers, pushing reparation, begging the Chaldean. We got a covenant with the God, brothers and sisters. The God showed up in 1930 and told us who we really are, and left instructions, left a new program that will be implemented in our mind, a new understanding, brothers and sisters, of who we really was and why we are in the North American wilderness. You see what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? But after 400 years here, we don't know what time it is, because the Nation of Islam got blocked with that demon, that legion, Louis Eugene Ground, modern day Farrakhan, Legion, Legion, then flipped the Nation of Islam. NOI is what it was under Elijah Muhammad. Now the ION, y'all dead. He told you in your face. But anyway, brothers and sisters, the sign of the end of our 400 years is the abomination of desolation. What you see that's transpiring in Palestine, that would be here in a few more days. They'll be murdering and killing us on sight. Just like the Palestinians don't have no water, they turned it off. Don't have no gas, they turned it off. Don't have no food, they turned it off. All of their infrastructures, they blew them up. I never been to Palestine, but I'm quite sure they got places where you can go get food. If you don't want to cook, they got places where you can go get food that's being cooked, just like here in America, brothers and sisters. But they got desolated by Israel's Air Force, Israel Marines, Israel Special Forces, Israel Navy. The Palestinians don't have none of that. That's why the whole world attention is over there in that area. But what they are witnessing, brothers and sisters, they are witnessing the death of a lie that was set up after Master Farad Muhammad came and told us who we really was, that we are the true seed of Abraham, the descendants. And as I stated, the Jews, the false Jews, and the Christians been fighting for 2,000 years. I made the mistake in the lecture and said 3,000 yesterday. 2,000 years they've been fighting for our identity, brothers and sisters, fighting to be who they are not. They cannot be us. They're not the original inhabitants of the planet Earth. They're not the black man, the black woman, and the black child, brothers and sisters. So the 911 emergency, brothers and sisters, that's calling you to give you the information about that 411 is talking about the end of the Abraham covenant and the sign, the greatest sign that has ever been given is the abomination of desolation. Read it in Matthew 24:15. And the sign of the abomination of desolation is telling us to flee. And we're fleeing because the true identity, the lie is going to get got, and the true identity, and they feel that only way that they can get out of what's coming, which is consequences, do unto them as they have done unto you. Consequences, brothers and sisters, revenge. That's our reward. The promised land, that's our reward. The heaven that will come from the most beautifulest woman on the planet, the black woman. That's our reward, brothers and sisters, and that is what we will receive on our way out of America, the exit. But we have to go through, it's called tribulations, brothers and sisters. Tribulations. We'll be leaving, fleeing first to the mountains, gather together, division of the wheat and the chad. The demons, they're going to want America, brothers and sisters. Like Farrakhan say, oh, they've been in every war. The black man and the black woman been in every war in America. So he feel that the country is theirs. And by right, he's the son of a devil. This is their country. America is the white boy's country. And since he been the seed of the white boy, a black-faced white boy, That's what a demon is. That's what a demon is, brothers and sisters. So when he say America, well, that's what the demons want. They can run to their swine daddy, as was spoken of in the book of Mark, when the one that was beating himself up, that was possessed by demons, once the demon was cast out, what did the demon wanted to do? He wanted to run and jump into the pit. And they ran off the cliff. Symbolic stories, brothers and sisters. The demon, they are human. Black face white boy. They look like us. That came in the results of the white boy going into the black woman. America is ruled by the devil and plagued by demons. So out of the three, the demons they gone. They like, hey, we're gonna fight for America. We like, hey, we don't want no part of America. We going to our promised land. We going home. So that's gonna be that separation. The ones, the Africans and the Haitians who been here under visas, who left their torn countries of war because of America, didn't pray to go take their country and put a so-called dictator, a puppet in there. They took their guns and their weapons and they went over there and took it. Put a dictator in there, and now the people are under cruel punishment because the dictator, the puppet, is controlled by the devil. So the people have fled to America. The Haitians and the Africans representing that mountain. And while they'll be in front of the Levites and the elect, the NOI or the ION that will be switched back into the NOI, will gather our intelligence. And our intelligence is the revelation. The revelation that was retrieved from the book of Revelation by the messenger of the covenant, by the one that would suddenly appear at Elijah's temple, by the one that the messenger of Allah will be setting up, preparing us to receive that revelation. Other words, under the 400 years of Christianity, we've been receiving the documentation, the input into our minds. And our minds is where the process of that information is taking place, and the hardware is the brain. The mind, brothers and sisters, the mind has been filled with dirt by Christianity. And every Sunday, you go to church to make sure that your program is still implemented. The program of Christianity, the program that you are ninja, the program that you are a Christian, the program that God has a mansion, and in his mansion, he has plenty room. And we know the God of this world is Satan. And you know when your loved ones die, they got a room for you. You go to the mortuary, sit down, discuss how much it's going to cost for that casket, discuss how much it's going to cost for that room in that mansion that's 3x6, a hole in the earth. You go in the casket, you have a ceremony, they throw that casket in a hole and fill it with dirt. No, brothers and sisters, we got a real heaven. We got a real heaven. We got a real promised land. But we got to upload, brothers and sisters, the new program for our mind. We got to upload, brothers and sisters, the new program of our mind. And that's what we're going to be doing while we're behind the mountain. We're going to be uploading the Injil, the new program. And that new program don't have nothing to do with that law that we had to obey under the Abraham covenant. That new program that we will be uploading. We'll be talking about consequences, brothers and sisters. Consequences, the law of consequences. Do unto others as they have done unto you. That's the law of our universe, brothers and sisters. And the consequences of the actions of the Chaldeans, the Holocaust, 400 years, the raping of our women, the creating of demons. The consequences, brothers and sisters, revenge. Revenge, brothers and sisters. That's what we will be doing. The Bible states the blood will be up to the horse's bridle. The blood will be up to the horse's bridle, brothers and sisters. So the war in heaven, not up in the sky. The war in heaven, brothers and sisters. The war in heaven, in the what they call the Middle East. That will be the uprising, abomination, the uprising of desolation, the cruel treatment of the Palestinian people, the cruel treatment of those who they call terrorists, Hamas, but they went through an election and got voted in to be the representing body of the Palestinians. But the news media in the North American wilderness, who's ruled under the devil, call them terrorists. And the false Jews in Israel, who are truly the synagogue of Satan, is doing the desolation of that uprising. And that is a sign for us, the original black man and black woman, the true inhabitants of the planet Earth, that we must, as it states in Matthew's 24:15, we got to flee, brothers and sisters. But we will be doing what the new law will instruct us to do. Just like we followed the law of submitting to the Edomites for 400 years, we will be submitting to the law of the Injil. We will be submitting to the law of consequences. We will be doing to them what they have done to us. But it won't take no 400 years. It won't take 400 years, brothers and sisters. So this information is not being given to none of us. Only way you get this information is from the Injil warriors. And we got that information along with our name, Injil warriors, from the messenger of the covenant. The messenger of the covenant. The covenant, the contract that the God made with Abraham. That the Legion, Louis Eugene Brown, that's sitting in the messenger of Allah's seat, Elijah Muhammad, is trying to flip the script and tell you that they stand here. Y'all can have it. Y'all can stay. But we know that America will be judged by the affliction that they put up on us. And that judgment, America will burn. You done read the book, The Fall of America, by the messenger of Allah. But it's a new book in town today, brothers and sisters. A new book, the Injil. And the Injil, once uploaded, the word, let me see, upload, to transfer, brothers and sisters, the right information into your mind, to upload the right program in your mind and install it into the hardware, your brain, and then to activate it. Huh? Look up them words, brothers and sisters, so you can know what time it is. It's time for the rise of the black man and his black woman and the black child. I'm your brother, Elahu Ramadan. As I came before you, so should I leave you in the peaceful greetings of Assalamu alaikum.